Summer 1996, here we are in WCW, and here is Scott Hall, here is Kevin Nash. Something is clearly going to happen, and a company is about to take a turn in a different direction. Maybe we don't know how severe that turn is going to be yet, but certainly there are rumblings, and maybe this invasion is going to be a shoot. Who knows? But what are you thinking at the time? What are the WCW veterans thinking at the time while the cameras are now being trained for a lot of TV time on the incoming NWO?
Well, you know, the ringleader of that was Hogan. And Hogan had creative rights. With Eric Bischoff, he was just going to pretty much be the booker or run things in WCW. And then he starts putting together his NWO crew that's coming in. And you know, it was somewhat troubling to some people and to me. What was going to happen to WCW, guys that had been there and been loyal to the office for so long. You know, you had Sting and Flair, and you know, there was a Sullivan. There was a lot of people there that weren't going to be a part of that NWO. That they had built me for 6 years strong. I had Ming as a bodyguard, and Ming was going to be one of their top guys that they were going to push. For 2 years he did nothing but walk around with me as a murderer. If you'd say anything, do anything, Ming was Dr. Spock, just and you're out, you know, that type of guy. And they built him as that strong. My bodyguard was a murderer, and it was pretty much true. Nobody messed with Ming. We sat in the dressing room, and Ming would just say, hey, he's up on the kernel of it. That's the end of that. You know, Ming was a very strong arm. Well, there he is, looking at the aspect of 2 years of good hard work, and now they're kind of looking at, well, we got Jimmy Hart, we got this, we got some other people. Colonel's been here a long time. We don't really want to go with that Colonel thing. I'm just telling you the way it affected me personally. That we don't want to. We want to kind of maybe do. So they say, okay, Colonel, they say, you don't want to wear the white suit anymore. And they come to me and they say, wear a gray suit or something else, or we want to change that white suit Colonel look. And I thought, that's kind of strange. But anyway, okay, then get the gray suit, gray hat, here we go. And then later they come to me and they say, oh, we're putting you with the Quebecers that were up in New York. They're going to come down here, Pierre and Rougeau. And so get yourself a Foreign Legion suit. And when Bischoff told me that, I looked at him and I said, oh, a Foreign Legion suit, yeah, that's great. You know, he was like, yeah, get a Foreign Legion suit, you know, get the hat, the stuff, all things. Oh, I said, oh gosh, that's great.
That's a rib?
Yeah, that's a real rib. So I believe, so we're down doing TV in Orlando about 3 weeks later or something, and Bischoff calls me in and he says, hey, he says, you get your Foreign Legion stuff? And I said, you were real about that? You know, he says, yes, I was real about that. He said, you're doing a French-Canadian thing, and I want to show you as you're stupid and you don't understand, and you think Foreign Legion's French, and you get the Foreign Legion suit, the whole thing. He said, it's just funny. It's funny stuff. Don't you think it's funny? You know, and I was like, you know what? We put a lot of time in the personality of the Colonel and the whole deal. And so anyway, so he tells me, he says, listen, you know, I got 2 more days of TV. We're shooting down here in Orlando. But he said, I want you to get in your car, and it's like a Friday. And he says, we're doing Monday Night Nitro someplace. And he says, you get back to Atlanta, and he said, you get that suit together, all of it, or he said, don't be there at TV Monday night. Whoa, I go, man, serious. So, you know, just for me personally, I'm like, what in the world kind of cartoon? I said, I don't see myself being here much longer. Right. See, I see the writing on the wall. And then they put me with Rougeau and Pierre, and they're hard to get along with, and that even makes things worse. And I start looking at the writing on the wall. I said, good gosh, they got nothing going for me here. And I'm going to be out of here pretty soon. So I'm sure a lot of other guys felt that same way.
I was going to say, you're probably not alone.
I was not alone. I know I wasn't, because they were all looking at a powerhouse coming in. Then Nash and Hall, and the guys that coming in, they're so big, they're so strong, they're so intelligent. I mean, there's no way to beat them. No way. And to me, you're going to get just a little bit of success out of that, and then you got nobody to work with. And you're just going to start down, and that's the way it's going to go.
You burn through all your talent, and then what, right? So you saw that early, that was one of the risks.
Oh yeah,
in creating a faction that's strong.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You know, if I'd have been looking at it, you know, saying I'm going to make a change in this right away, I would have said, this is darn near almost a shoot, that we need to get a little group of guys who support WCW and get a boss that works for him, like Hogan's running his NWO, and let's challenge these guys. So we need to start working on it right away. We need to get our territory working in a direction that WCW is going to save itself. And here comes NWO that's going to put you guys out of business. And, you know, he said putting WCW guys out of business means there's no more WCW. It's just Hogan and his boys, and here they are, and they got no place to work anymore. So.
Which Hogan might have been fine with at that point. The way it went, everybody got an NWO T-shirt before long. Yeah. Hall comes, Nash comes, Six comes. Is